Welcome back to the Bobby King Iraqi Dinar news channel, your number one source for the most trusted updates straight from Iraq. Today's intel is absolutely shocking. One of my contacts inside Iraq has just revealed something big, something that could happen right after the elections. He believes they are getting ready to pull the trigger on major changes that could reshape everything. Before we dive deep, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update from Bobby King Iraqi Dinar News, the truth that others don't dare to say. In a development that has the world on edge, one of my trusted contacts in Iraq has dropped a bombshell hinting that the long-anticipated move on the Iraqi dinar could happen right after the elections. He believes this moment has been carefully timed and that Iraq is about to pull the trigger on something historic that will shake the financial landscape of the Middle East and possibly the global markets. He says the timing is no coincidence. After months of quiet preparation behind closed doors, the Central Bank of Iraq and senior government officials may have been waiting for the election dust to settle before making their biggest play yet. Why wait? Because once the elections conclude, the government shifts into what's known as a caretaker phase, a short transitional period where no major policy changes are supposed to happen. But according to this contact, that's exactly when the move will be made. This strategy is pure genius and pure shock at the same time. In caretaker mode, the government is technically hands-off yet still functioning. That means they can make a monetary change without appearing to manipulate politics or sway the elections. It gives them plausible deniability. They can say this isn't about votes or power, it's about progress and reform. For months, whispers have been circulating across Baghdad and Basra that the financial reset is ready, the systems are tested, and the international agreements are signed. Yet the officials have stayed silent, waiting for the perfect storm. Now it seems the signal could come right after the last vote is counted. The logic is simple. Once the political noise fades, the economic transformation can begin without political backlash. Imagine waking up the day after the election only to find that the central bank has launched its long-prepared reform, the removal of zeros, the adjustment of exchange rates, the revaluation that so many investors and citizens have been praying for. This isn't fantasy anymore. It's lining up with political reality. The caretaker government becomes the perfect cover. No one can accuse them of changing the game for votes or trying to buy loyalty. They can simply say the process had been planned long before the election cycle and was implemented as part of ongoing national reforms. The international community can nod in approval while the Iraqi people feel the shock of sudden financial awakening. My contact insists that the clues are already visible if you know where to look. Meetings between banking officials and IMF representatives have intensified. Currency policy memos have been quietly circulated to financial institutions. Even local news outlets are dropping vague hints about structural monetary transitions to prepare the public psychologically. Why does this matter to the rest of the world? Because Iraq's currency and its oil-backed potential hold the power to ripple through global markets. A revaluation of the dinar or a major monetary reform could shift regional trading dynamics, challenge the petrodollar dominance, and draw massive foreign investment into Iraq. The Gulf region is watching closely, and so are Washington, London, and Beijing. This is not a rumor mill moment. This is the calm before the blast of financial reality. For years, analysts have debated whether Iraq could ever stabilize enough to launch a meaningful currency reform. But stability doesn't always come in peace. Sometimes it comes in controlled chaos. The elections are the perfect smokescreen. Once the ballots are sealed, the caretakers take over, and in that brief silence between administrations, the central bank could act freely and decisively. If that happens, history will record it as one of the boldest moves in modern economic strategy. It will prove that Iraq learned from its own past mistakes and from other nations that tried to reform too openly and got crushed by politics. By moving in caretaker mode, Iraq could finally outmaneuver both internal resistance and international interference. Skeptics will say it's too risky, that no serious reform would happen during political transition. But that's the brilliance of it. The caretaker period gives cover and confusion. No one expects massive policy action, yet the machinery is already running. Think of it like a countdown already at zero, waiting for the quiet moment to push the button. If my contact's belief is right, then we're about to see the kind of move that changes everything for Iraq's economy. The poor and middle class could finally feel relief, the investors could see long-awaited returns, and Iraq could regain financial sovereignty on its own terms. Still, this must be said. Nothing is guaranteed until it's official. The Central Bank of Iraq has played its cards close and every signal has layers of meaning. But the timing aligns too perfectly to ignore. Elections end, caretaker government steps in, and then comes the shock announcement that will echo far beyond Iraq's borders. Right now Iraq stands on the edge of two futures. One is the old cycle of waiting, hoping, and surviving. The other is bold reform, economic independence, and national pride. According to my insider, the trigger is ready and the moment is coming. The question is not if but when they will pull it. If this contact's belief holds true, then what happens in the days following the election could become one of the most unforgettable moments in modern financial history. Iraq may soon step into a new era, leaving the old system behind and proving that sometimes the biggest revolutions happen not with noise but with a single quiet, decisive move right after the world stops watching. What we're witnessing right now in Iraq is more than politics, it's the calm before the storm. The caretaker government might look temporary, but moves like this usually hide something much bigger behind the curtain. If my contact is right, we're about to see a shift that could define the next decade for Iraq. And for everyone watching the Dinar closely, this could be the signal we've been waiting for. And remember, your support means everything. Subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and share this video with everyone following the Iraqi Dinar journey. I'm Bobby King, thank you for watching, stay alert, stay hopeful, and I'll see you in the next update.